Ever dreamed that your child could be the next Mark Zuckerberg? Well, now they can be. CodeCamp was started by Ben Levi and Peter Neal after their passion to teach kids to code became more than just a hobby.
Coding is just this unique language where you don't have to have good pronunciation.
You can just imagine what you want to do, think of it, and you can just do it.
My dad asked me, are you going to sell it on the App Store for millions of dollars? And I said,
right now I'm going to fix something up. So here, I'm going to get rid of all this. All of that. And just by press of one button, it's gone.
It started as a series of school holiday workshops exposing students to the world of coding and entrepreneurship, and has since gone from strength to strength. The founders now want to take CodeCamp to the next stage. So we sent Jen George in to talk about how to get the right investors on board.
So Ben, tell me about CodeCamp. How did you get started and where are you now?
So I was running another tech business. Kids were constantly asking me to teach them how to code, and I was not the world's best developer. Sitting opposite me in the co-working space at Fishburners was Pete Neal, who has teaching experience. And I just said to Pete, if I can put some kids in the classroom, can you teach them how to code? And let's just get started and see what happens. A week later, we had 8 students up in Kambala in Vaucluse, and it went really well. So then we decided to do it again. Then we had 12, and then 50, then 100. And what was a hobby turned into a business. And since then, in the last almost 2 years now, we've taught 10,000 students. We have 450 casual staff who are out there teaching kids to code in over 100 schools. And the aim is to teach another 75,000 students over the next 12 months.
That's fantastic. So that sounds like big plans, 75,000 more students. How are you planning on achieving that? Is it an investment? Are you going to fund it yourselves? How are you approaching this?
So with investment, it comes down to, is it dumb money, where it's just cash which we can use to build out the business? Yep. Or is there smart money, whether that be distribution to help us scale and get to our customers? Looking for investment, it's really around the education space and how can we help more students achieve more incredible things and how can we equip them to do more?
That's great. So early stage startups obviously have to figure out their strategy and stalk the market to figure out who's the right fit from an investment point of view. You guys are obviously a bit further on. What are the key drivers within your business that you would look for in an investor rather than just dumb money, as you said?
I think what we'd be really looking for is someone who has the experience of successfully taking a business which has got to a certain size and then helping it grow to 10 times that or 100 times that and keeping the quality.
From my point of view, when you're looking through, I guess, the people who are approaching you to invest within your company, there's some key things that I would always look for. Are they asking about your unit economics? What drives your business and at what cost? And then at what things can you, I guess, manipulate to actually get a better return or better scale of the business? I would look at what can they actually bring to the table besides the cash. Connections is one thing, but LinkedIn is fantastic, so don't worry about the connections. There's no guarantees with an intro, right? And the third thing I'd say is always look for a good fit, because once you're married through the good and the bad and the horrifically ugly. Startup life is obviously a roller coaster, so make sure you've got a team that are really in line with your culture as well as your values.
Great advice. Any pitfalls that we should be looking out for with taking on investment?
Oh, definitely. People who promise you the world but have no way of showing you traction or proof of their traction today is a really worrying thing. I think there are great salespeople who can get into a business, take some equity, and then they'll add nothing to your business. So always watch out for that. A misalignment of vision and values, as corny as it sounds, can be a huge, huge error. It means that every day, every decision you're making, you're coming up against somebody who wants to create something totally different with the business, and your focus is constantly on that rather than growing your business and very, very strict on your vision and values and where you're heading. Third thing I'd say is don't always have to give equity away to get advice from people. At the end of the day, people are actually quite willing to sit down, have a coffee and kind of talk through ideas. You don't have to get married to go on a date. So get your advice from the experts that you actually need them from. Don't go to the same person for every single piece of advice. If you need financial advice, go to an accountant or a finance person. Don't go to, your dad every time, which I do. But find the right people for the right problems, and hopefully you'll get better advice moving forward.
Great advice. And at what stage would you put a board in place?
For us, we put a board in place when we took investment on. I think a board's a great thing because it keeps you, I guess, in check. It's not just you running around like headless chook every day. And it's a good headspace to kind of make those very strategic decisions that aren't, I guess, in the day-to-day operations of the business. What I will say is don't just bring anyone and everyone onto your board. Keep it clean, keep it simple, and keep it very diverse as well in thought. Because if you have all the same people with the same thought process on there, you're not going to clash and get a better result at the end of the day. So don't be afraid about that.
Thanks for the great advice.
No dramas.
Hey, thanks for dropping by the KBB YouTube channel. If you want a whole lot more where this came from, press the subscribe button and it will open a Pandora's box of great videos that not only are educational, full of great advice, but also really inspiring. Just what we need as small business owners.